We've been following the path of Hurricane Ian, and of course, a lot of people very concerned about it. A lot of people also want to help out, but before you do, there are some things to know. Troy Baker is here now with the BBB. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Everybody wants to give. Everybody wants to help out somehow, and that is a great thing, but there are some things to keep in mind.
Yeah, West Michigan's a very giving community, and a lot of people want to support the people that are being impacted by this. But the biggest thing is to make sure your donations are going where they're going to do the most good, and they're not going to scammers or organizations. They're going to spend it all on the fundraising process instead of really going to help those people in need.
That's really one thing to keep in mind, is to make sure the dollars that you're giving are actually going to help out and not just for, like you say, not just scams, but also administrative costs, things like that. Where is that money going? That's important to know.
Yeah, so before you give, you get a phone call, you get a text message, an email, some ask for money. Before you give that money, take their information, do some research, go to give.org, go to GuideStar, go to the organization's website, learn about them, make sure you know what they do and how that money's used, and then give if it's the organization you want to support. The other big thing we talk about, a lot of local organizations are going to be going through different drives to help the people of Florida that are impacted by this. We see it every time there's a natural disaster. If you want your money to go to that initial wave, go to those organizations you already know have the infrastructure to get in there tomorrow or the day after when the storm's gone, as opposed to 3 weeks from now when things have cleared out a little bit. If you really want to make that initial impact, find the Red Cross and those types of organizations that have that track record of getting right in there.
And they have that track record because they are so good at it. They do know what to do. They know what people are going to need immediately.
Absolutely. And that's really where the experience comes in. So have a conversation with the charity and talk to them. What do you do? How does my money get used? And a good question to ask is, after the disaster is over, if you have money left over, how does that get used? Does that stay in that community, or does that go to the next disaster down the road somewhere and have it go where you want it? So if you really care about that Florida, make sure it stays in Florida. But be an informed giver, a good informed donor before you make that give, and you'll make sure your money goes the furthest.
Real quick, Troy, mention those websites again that you said that we can go, 'cause those are important to remember.
Give.org is the organization the Better Business Bureau uses, and GuideStar is another one. That is, you can learn a lot about a charity, who they are, what they do, how their funding is used by those two organizations.
Excellent. Great information. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Troy.